Mic check. Mic check. Okay, so I may be streaming. I'm not sure. So let me check. And yes, I am live. Okay, so I may be streaming. I'm not sure. And I think I am listening to myself. So let me stop that. And I think I am my only viewer. So if anybody out there is watching this, then first let me introduce myself. I'm Frank, your virtual general aviation aviator. And I'm doing something that I don't normally do. I'm Frank, your virtual general aviation aviator. And I'm doing something. Okay, so I need to fix. I know I turned on the mic, and I need to figure out how to turn it off. I know I turned on. Okay, so I don't know what I'm doing here, but bear with me. I am going to take a flight from Victorville, Southern Logistics out in California to to an airport in Utah. Let's see. And setting up the stream is getting me a little discombobulated. So as soon as I figure out how to stop my elko, setting up the stream is getting me a little discombobulated. So there was a mic that I turned on, and lo and behold, I don't remember where I turned it on. I'm losing my voice. There was a mic that I turned on, and lo and behold, I don't remember where I turned it on. And I'm losing my voice. I just got oh man, tower blue. What's up with that? I'll figure it out. Let's see. Well, it's telling me I need to change my resolution. Streaming does not like 4K. So it's telling me I need to change my resolution. Figure out how to do that. Okay, so right now I think I need to go to settings in OSB. This is the sausage getting made here. And video output, change. And it's not going to let me do it while I am recording. So I'm just going to go with it, and hopefully things will work themselves out. All right, so let me go back to settings and see if I can't find that mic audio. Stream. Okay. And then audio. Output. And I know you guys can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so that's not doing it. Also, I don't have YouTube set up so that I can keep up with any chat that anybody might type in if they join me. YouTube set up so that I can keep up with any chat that anybody might type in if they join. This stream can be accessed again from the managed list. Exiting will not end a stream if it is currently live. Okay, so maybe if I exit, then now I'm not hearing myself, so that helps. And I need to name the string explain 11. Okay, K Victorville to Kilo Hotel Charlie Romeo, and that was a pretty good little. It's going to be a pretty good little flight. 464 nautical miles. So let's go back and 464 nautical miles in the PC-12. I like to say Pilatus. Okay, and make it public. And smile for a thumbnail. Okay. All right. Now I see something that says go live. Category is wrong. So let's change the category. I don't know what I'm doing, but that don't mean I can't learn. Gaming and explain 11. And now let's get a thumbnail change. And aviation. And we'll leave it there. And we'll change. Can I find a thumbnail right quick? Let's go to video and assets. Temporary assets and find the PC-12. I should have a lot of them at Victorville. Victorville. And all right, so I'm gonna hit go live. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. Going live. And so I'm not sure if I am recording, so I need to actually pop into YouTube and see if what I think I'm doing is what I'm doing. Okay. And everybody uses that two-step verification now. Okay. All right. So I think I am. Man, this says I got 2 live streams. Huh. Oh well. If I click on the one that I want, I don't get what I thought I would get. And oh well. Let's see. Try and click on the other. And so I think one of them is working. So let's see if we can figure out how to stop this one, and this one, and dismiss. And we get rid of that guy in a few. Can we get rid of it now? Schedule screen, public. We'll just make it unlisted. And we get rid of it in a few. Okay, so, all right, so, again, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm in the PC-12. I'm at Victorville at the GA ramp, and I am about to fly 464 nautical miles to, I think it's to Heber City Municipal McDonald, and the caption is wrong. I am not flying from Davenport, Washington to Friday Harbor. So if I don't really know how to fix that, but as you guys may know by now, the Pilatus is one of my favorite GA aircraft, and so I fly it a lot. Okay, I've already got my flight plan loaded, and I'm pretty much ready to take off. I've used 13 liters, let's see, actually 13 pounds of fuel just sitting here getting the stream set up. All right, still got my pusher test to go, and I think I'm ready for that. So let me torque let me torque up to at least 5. Okay, so you see my torque coming up. And streaming is not something I normally do. And I actually, again, I'm not monitoring chat because I'm not sure I even know how to set up a chat monitor. Okay. All right. But if you want to chat, then go for it, and I'll figure it out later. Okay, so even on this stream, I just clicked on something and said my privacy is set to unlisted. So I'm going to make that public and hit done. And maybe a few more you guys will see me on and join. All right. So pusher test. All right, and I love the STMA pusher test. It's as close to realistic as I think we're gonna get. So let me put my overhead panel where I can see my see, I can move it here. Yeah, so I can see my yoke, and I'm at 5.2 on my torque, so I can hit that pusher button and pull it back, push it in, swing it around, and it pulls me out of a stall. And my pusher test concluded successfully. Fire, and it's realistic. I get a CAS display. It says engine fire in red and fire detect caution. And the lamp test is pretty realistic. So I get the lamp test, and as you can see, I get the alarm and I get all my lights. Um, Unlike the Coronado version where you get something that's totally unrealistic. Okay, so I still hear a little echo here, so. And I appreciate any of you guys who had the patience to bear with me while I get a stream set up. All right, so I can go ahead and get ready to taxi. Victorville has no SID or stars, so my first waypoint is going to be Daggett, and I just need a bearing to Daggett. Daggett is on a bearing of 05049 or rounded 05. So what I want to do is go ahead and change this so I can see my whole compass, and then put my head and bug on the heading that I want to turn to, and I can actually close this guy down now because I think I'm done with it. And I want to climb out at, say, this is an FSE flight, so I need to go ahead and load my FSE, my FS economy passengers. So let me go ahead and get logged in. And that's going to load my fuel. I should have pretty close to full tanks after I load my passengers. Okay, so I've got, I've got 8 passengers, corporate jet hire, and now you can see my fuel quantity has popped up to make this flight, so I'm good to go there. All right, and my used fuel did reset, so I don't have to hit the reset button, which I can do. That is modeled on this aircraft, and the EFA's test button is modeled. Isn't that cool? So I like that. And yeah, all right, so Victorville, let's get ATIS. Waypoint info, frequencies. ATIS is 135.47, and I'm gonna put that here in COM2. 47. Come on down. 135. Pop that in. Turn COM2 on.
Southern California Logistics Information Sierra.
000
Zulu weather. Wind
No pin.
260 at 10. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 31. Dew point 21. Altimeter 2991.
2991.
Arriving runway 35. Departing runway 35. Advise on initial contact. You have Sierra.
And it was 260 at 10. I think the winds were. I need to get my winds. Okay, so 2991.
Southern California Logistics Information Sierra. 000 Zulu weather.
Look good.
Wind 260 at 10. Visibility more than 10.
Okay,
Sky
so we're going to
clear.
take off on 35.
31. Dew point 21. Altimeter 2991.
All right. So we got our ADAS, and we'll go ahead and go to ground. Get that in. Flip it up there, and put tower on standby. And take a look at where we are. So we want to take off on 3-5. So it looks like if we take Charlie to the left to, what's this little runway here? Yeah, just stay on Charlie. Charlie will turn us. And looks like we can get on at Charlie 1. Okay. So we know how we're going to get there. And we just need to call ground for taxi clearance. I'm not going to call ground. Well, yes, I am. I might go ahead and do it. Victorville, ground, Pilatus, 9875 Foxtrot is at General Aviation, ready to taxi. Departing to the belayed at standby. All right, so I'm treating this like it's going to be a VFR flight, and I'm actually going to be flying IFR. So I need to do something different. I need to file that flight plan with ATC, and I'll just pick it up in there. Yeah, we just do it that way. Okay. So, all right. So they've told me how to taxi, and I'm ready to follow their instructions. All right. Taxi lights can come on, and recognition lights can come on. All right. So let's take a look at where we are. Yep, looking good, guys. Looking good. All right. This is where the immersion come in, getting ready for these flights sometime. Oftentimes with X-Plane, I start the simulator and jump up in the air and fly 5 minutes and land because I have no plan. All right. And I did say I want to climb out at 25 at, let's say I actually want to climb up to 9,500 initially, and our cruising destination flight level is going to be 25,000 flight level 250. Okay, and let's climb at 1,600 feet a minute. This aircraft is rated at 18. But when it's loaded like it is with gas and people, then it can feel sluggish. All right. So still got one message on my CAS, and I know I want to turn left on Charlie. All right. So let's release our brakes. All right. And you know what? I had a tire blown message, and there it is, a blown tire. I don't know how that happened, but obviously I gotta fix it. So let's edit failures, and I do keep my failure set at I try to keep it set at 1,000 hours to kind of simulate real world stuff. Fix all systems, and done. Apply changes. There we go. Sorry about the blown tire, guys, but it is what it is. All right. So let's start our taxi. Pull our NGs down to the 60s. It's good where it's at. All right. Check brakes. Brakes working. Right brake. Left brake working. And we're off. All right. So I'm looking for the yellow brick road, and I think that ought to be Charlie. All right. Now here's our yellow brick road here. And taxi on out. Just want to be able to see the column just a little bit. All right. And we are off. Now again, I'm at Victorville and I'm going to Heber City. I think the caption says Davenport, Washington to Friday Harbor. And I fear it. No, I'm afraid to try and go back and change that for fear that I might screw something up. Let me verify I'm on Charlie, and I am. All right, towards Charlie 2, and I know I want Charlie 1. So this it should be Charlie 2 over to my right. But I thought I should have a turn. Did I make that turn already? No, there's my turn there. And this is Charlie 2, I thought. Okay. So, sticking with Charlie. And we're taxiing into runway 35. All right, flaps set. And I need to set my standby altimeter. So 2991 is what this should be on. And I know you guys can't see it because I can barely see it myself. I think I'm at 2991 now. All right, let's do a cross check. 28.9, 28.8. Yep. So that's close enough, in agreement. All right. Flap set for takeoff. And let's contact tower. Victorville Tower, Pilatus 975 Foxtrot is holding at runway 35, ready to depart. And of course they'll tell me clear for takeoff, give me the winds and all that. Clear for takeoff, runway 35, Pilatus 9875 Foxtrot. All right, so condition level 4. That brings that, finish bringing that torque up. Strobe lights can come on, taxi lights can go off, landing lights can come on. All right, and there's no need to delay. So let me just get lined up, check my compass. Stop, baby. And I gotta remember, I got a 10-knot crosswind. All right, takeoff power set. Trying to weather vane into the wind. And I'm actually kind of heavy. 80 knots, rotate. Positive rate. Tap the brake. Gear up. For my runway heading. Trim off some of this back pressure. And she flies like a dream. Now, this flight is 464 nautical miles. Okay, I'm over 300 feet, AGL, flaps up. Climb power set at 35.6, at 39.6. And we are airborne. And let's go ahead and engage our autopilot. And first we want to turn to our heading. And we want to fly a heading of about 050. So that's kind of northeasterly. And that should turn us toward Daggett, which is our first waypoint. All right, so let's go ahead and turn on our flight director, which is already on. Let's change it to nav. Yaw damper can come on. I'm still hand flying. Still hand flying. Checking my gauges. Everything looked good. Climbing out at 1,500 feet per minute. So let's go ahead and engage our autopilot. Let that take over. And I can take a breath. Let's get our, of course, they would have us tuned to departure. Autopilot may have come off. Yep, it did. And okay, I think because our nose altitude was so high, so we at if we can get up to about 130, and we'll set this guy and engage our climb profile. And I thought I set that on 2200. Okay, yeah, we'll go to 12. Okay, and then yeah. So climbing out at 140, and as long as we manage that speed, we don't have to worry about stalling the aircraft. So our indicated airspeed setting is at 140. So that's going to control our pitch. All right. So where are we now? We are doing some things. Look like we are well on our way. All right. So let's open up for a flight and build in that flight plan. So I have to go to. So we left Victorville. And then our first waypoint is going to be Daggett. All right. From Daggett, we'll pick up the J100. Okay, and then we'll fly over Las Vegas and pick up the Q70. These are high altitude airways. Then we'll pick up the blip, or the blip, and we pick up Q842, and then table, and then F far field, I think, and finally our destination, Kilo Hotel Charlie Romeo. So this is our plan, and we kind of can use ForeFlight to kind of make sure to help us stay out of trouble. I do have real weather on. Okay, 1,000. I should be leveling off. And I want to pick up some speed. Okay, I got my caution. I never did put on my probe heat and AOA indicator. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up a little speed, and then we'll climb another leg, another step to 18, flight level 18. Our cruising altitude is 250, 25,000. All right, and let's change this to GPS. So we got 28 nautical miles to Daggett. And let's pop our map in. And you can see the map. Terrain is not an issue. So doesn't make any difference whether my terrain warnings are off or on, because I'd be high enough to avoid terrain. And traffic, let's make sure that we've got traffic turned on, which we didn't have it turned on. Shame on me. And let's get rid of this ForeFlight map. All right, so yeah, I had traffic turned off here, so I should be able to see traffic in both my GTN 750 and my window here. All right, and you know, I never did put in a squawk code. Let's go 2365. All right. So yeah, it's a lot of work flying. It really is. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this climb. Up to 18. And sometimes hitting the right click spots can be a challenge. We'll start out at 14, and when we get to 140 knots, then we'll enable indicated airspeed climb. All right. So, like I said, I got real weather on, and looks like it's a lovely day to be out doing the flight in real life. Man, how I wish that I was really out there. I don't normally stream. I usually record my flights and and then edit them a little bit and play them back. So again, the stream is different, and I don't know how well it's going to come out. I don't know if you guys can, if you, I don't know if this is generating a good picture or not. So we shall see. That didn't work out too well. All right, so there we are. All right, let's check out. Let's nose it over and go ahead and set up our airspeed indicator. That gives you an idea how easily one can stall an aircraft. And so this is a good climb profile here for right now. Still plenty of fuel. I can do 760 on the ITT. I'm actually ITT limited still. And looks like we're at climbing roughly at about 600 feet a minute. Now, to be honest with you, I kind of think this aircraft is a little underpowered. I think in real life, the Pilatus ought to be able to maintain at least 1,200 feet at 13,000 feet. So I probably could ask the developer, who tends to be really responsive, as to why that is. But since I'm not a real Pilatus pilot, I just don't know. But to have to climb to 25,000 feet at 5 and 600 feet a minute at 140 knots will take you all day to get to your destination. So I don't know. Maybe we can figure things out at some point. At some point. Okay, so stop this. And 2 nautical miles from Daggett. And to be honest, what I should be doing also is setting up the VORs on standby whenever I can. Um, it's good to be able to always stay in front of the aircraft, and by not setting it up, then I'm relying on one set of navigation, which is the GPS, and if it fails, then it could wreak some havoc. So let's pop into ForeFlight, and let's see what our next waypoint is. I'm gonna fly over Las Vegas, and Vegas is 116.9, the vortex. Okay, so what I want to do is go here. Nope, not there. And close that up. Go here to the nav radio. 116.9. Backspace 69. Why is that not working? 116.9. So let me just make sure I'm in nav. Okay, so I've got nav 116. It's not taking the 6. Maybe oh, that's 118.9. 118.9. And we'll go ahead and enter that in. Ah, shucks. How did that happen? I'm trying to get it in the nav radio. 1189. There we go. Nope, don't want to confirm that. But 118. See, it won't take the 8. Huh. 9. Let's see, nav. Now, why won't it take the 8? All right, guys. Check this out. Okay. So, oh no, it's 116. What's going on here? I thought it was 116. So, the vortex is 116.9. All right, so that should take. I think I was trying to type 116.9 in the comm radio, which is why it may not have taken. Backspace 1169. There we go. Yeah, I had the wrong radio. Okay, so that's spinning up. So it is tracking it. And yeah, looks like we are good. So this way, if I were to lose my GPS, for whatever reason, then I still have the vortex to get me to Las Vegas. Now let's get back into this app. 1,000 to go till we get 18. And we'll put the next one on standby, which would be Farfield, and that's 116.6. Okay, so I hit nav standby 1166, and I don't want to transfer. I want to enter that. Okay, so I got my two vortex or VORs on programmed in. Now, far field is not a vortex. I think it's just a VOR. So you can keep that in mind. And get the ITT back up to 760. I just happen to know that 760 for the Pilatus is the POH vortex, the POH climb power set that you shouldn't exceed. That don't mean you can't, but you shouldn't. So and looks like Mars down there, that red desert. So I still have some, I've been spending a lot of time rebuilding the X-Plane. I had, this is a fresh install of X-Plane, and I've been installing some ortho and making videos on how I go about installing my ortho, and you know, you guys are free to check that out. Especially if you like the effects of the scenery that I get. I think this is default. I'm sure it's default because with the default scenery, see these repeating patterns, and that's pretty typical with default scenery. All right. So I'm at flight level 1800. Go to standby here and standby on this guy here, and 2892992. This is so hard to read. That's one of the reasons why, if it wasn't for the depth of systems in this STMA version of the Pilatus, then I would definitely fly different aircraft. Probably, well, I wouldn't fly the Coronado version, even though I can see stuff and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful aircraft, textures, and you know, top notch. The system's depth is just not there. Okay, so I'm hoping to pick up a little speed before I make this next climb, and we may need to change our climb from 25 to 21. No, actually, I'm going to leave it at 25. Let's see what our ground speed is. All right, so we are over the ground at 242 knots, and I literally have an hour. Did I get rid of forward flight? I bet I left it up. Okay, I got rid of it. I literally have an hour left in this flight. ETA destination is 1:35. So, apologies for the snafus that that I'm experiencing with getting this flight done. Apologies that I am unable to manage the chats. If anybody's out there, if you type in hi or hello, then I can at least test. to see if chat is even working. If not, no worries. And my initial separator is off. Landing and taxi lights are off. Recognition light at this altitude is not needed. Should have turned it off at about 10,000. And right now we're just in cruise. All right, so there is a C list chat list for this aircraft that I have not installed the plug-in for yet. Otherwise, since I've got so far to go, I could take the time to do a climb and cruise chat list. All right, so I've got all the P's in the pot that I can put in. 761 on the ITT, 762. So I'm actually starting to become ITT limited if I want to stay within the parameters of the POH. And I feel like I should be able to muster up a little bit more speed. So I don't know. I wish I did. Anyway. Don't have any weather. That's a good thing. I am using SkyMax Pro, and along with the real weather connector, so that the weather that I'm seeing ought to be actual weather. Let's glance out that window. So maybe I should try. What do you guys think about streaming versus recording and putting stuff up? Again, I don't expect this to be in 4K, which may even be preferable to 4K. I'm not sure. But for any of you guys who do watch me and follow me, I could mix in more streams and actually let you guys know ahead of time when I intend to stream. I just kind of did this on a whim. I hadn't flown in so long, and one of my followers reminded me that he was ready to see some flights. So this is kind of my way of doing a flight while I continue recording and installing scenery. Of course, with Microsoft Flight Simulator, you don't have to install the scenery. It's all downloaded. But believe it or not, yesterday my internet went down, and it stayed down a good 20 hours. And I was able to start X-Plane and get airborne, and I was not able to start Microsoft Flight Simulator and get airborne. So take it for whatever it's worth. It may not go down that often, but it does go down occasionally. And as with internet, if it does go down, it's probably going to go down during an event like an ice storm in my neck of the woods, in which case, as long as I got electricity and I'm trying to pass time during an ice storm, then I would like to be able to fly. So our next waypoint is in 4 nautical miles, and that waypoint is Clara. Okay, and then from Clara, looks like it might be straight to Las Vegas. No, yeah. Okay. We're 260 knots over the ground. And what kind of winds do we have? Let's see if we can't figure something out. Looks like we've got a tailwind, 25 knot tailwind, quartering our tail section. This is what I'm looking at here to get my tailwind information. And let me see if I can't change the title of this while I think this might just work. X plane. KVCV to K Hotel Charlie Romeo. Is it Romeo Charlie? Say it is Charlie Romeo. Okay. Hotel Charlie Romeo. And Pilatus PC-12 a 464 nautical mile flight. FSE. That, and we'll save it. Okay, so that might be a little better, I hope. Okay. So again, I'm in the Pilatus PC-12. I'm not really a streamer, even though I do record flights and post them. So this flight is in terms of streaming, is experimental for me. The PC-12 is one of my favorite aircraft. Now I'm at 18. Let's see if I can go ahead and climb up another few thousand feet. I've already set the barometers to standard, so I'm good there. And I should be approaching Las Vegas. Yep, Las Vegas in 22 nautical miles from Clara, and then we'll go to FE. If I or I-Fe. I wonder how is that pronounced. Apologies again for any of you guys who might want to chat. Haven't seen anything come through on the chat, so I'm not sure if it's even working. All right. So we just punched in a bunch of additional information, and let's see if we can get rid of it. I don't think I need it. And back. All right. Just lost my autopilot. And that's probably because I got too slow. I wasn't watching my airspeed. So let me nose over and trim down. And back. See what my desired track is, 035. All right. So 035 should be about right here. And all right, so let's go back to autopilot. And that's something that doesn't like. Okay, so probably my nose up attitude. So let's just follow this flight director. And let's try the autopilot again. All right, something has happened. Okay. And that something is I'm just too slow. Just too slow. All right. So I can re-engage the autopilot and engage indicated airspeed. And we can hold there at about 130. So there's an example of how easily it is to stall an aircraft at any altitude, and they can be stalled almost at any speed. A lot has to do with that angle of attack. Let's see if we should be getting some city proper stuff in our scenery. And there's Las Vegas. There's McCarran down below, just up under the cloud. And yeah, so I'm surprised that I have not seen any traffic. So I wonder if Traffic Global is working, and it is. I see Southwest Airlines, at least the label for Southwest Airlines. So Traffic Global is working, and I did turn down the number of the amount of traffic that I was getting. I noticed that at a lot of airports, with it turned up to max, every parking space was utilized. And I thought that was somewhat unrealistic, so I did turn it down. All right. And I'm just reading some stuff about streaming, so just bear with me. I lost my autopilot again. Oh, no, no, no. That wasn't that. I heard an alarm. That was just let me know I reached my altitude or am reaching my altitude. 1,000 to go on that alarm. Okay, like I'm reaching Las Vegas now. Just should be over the waypoint. And we'll make that turn the IFA or IFI. Dimitri Lee. Hey, my friend. So my chat is working after all. I suspect that with YouTube, there's usually an extreme long delay between the time you type something and the time I can see it. So anyway, hey, my friend, how have you been? I hope you guys are able to hear me okay. So I am struggling, and I do mean struggling to get up to 21,000 feet. Even though I filed for 25, I'm just not going to make it. So let's see, where are we in this scheme of things? So in the scheme of things, we are just approaching IFA, then we'll do blip, Winnie, table, and ultimately Heyday. I think it's pronounced Heyday. It's a city just southeast of Salt Lake City that I'm taking some passengers to who wanted to fly on a jet, but the jet was not available, and they could wait a day for the jet, or they could do the prop, and so I pulled them. It's a FSE. It's a FS economy flight, and the flight seems to be going pretty good. One of the problems, if I can call it a problem, with FS with FS economy is a lot of the airports still have these old names, like 36U is Heber City, which does not exist anymore. It's been renamed to Kilo Charlie Romeo. Oh shucks, my memory fails me. But it's no longer 36U. It's been upgraded to an ICAO code, And that code again is, let's just look at our flight plan. Kilo Hotel Charlie Romeo, Heber Valley. So that's one of the things that if any of you guys fly FS economy, you really kind of gotta watch out for. All right, should be leveling off at our flight level 2100. And I think I'm just gonna hold contact ATC and amend my flight plan from 25 to 21, because again I am struggling to climb. I was struggling just to get up to 21. All right. And I think I may have mentioned that I thought this aircraft was underpowered before, um, but if I did, then that's been so long ago that it might be worth mentioning again. So while I am in, let's see if let me check and see if I got an answer from my friend Dimitri. And I guess I did not. So while I am in straight and level flight, I am going to take a break and I shall be right back. Okay, I guess you can tell that I'm back. And we are moving on up the highway. So I see the lake off to my right. And let's see, and there it is. The pilotage there. Still a cockpit check. 150 knots indicated. 245 over the ground. I'm showing a 36 knot tailwind. That's really not computing unless this arrow is pointed the wrong way, but it should be. The barb is pushing me on the tail. So looks like the wind is coming from this direction, but I'm flying like it's coming from this direction. Huh. I'm hoping that somebody will really redevelop the PC-12 and do it right with the new generation Honey Apex Primus avionics suite. The problem with the Primus avionics suite is that it's really and truly a heavy lift. Building that from scratch. I mean, it's really takes a lot of work to build the avionics. Okay, so we should be approaching blip, right? Back. Yep. And blip in 3 nautical miles. And let's see what procedures we got for our destination. Let's go down. Let's see, load procedures. And I want to do an approach. And I think I want to do this RNAV here. Okay. So I would need to enter. Looks like don't have vectors. Let's see. Back. Now this is what I always find so challenging, is finding a transition into the approach. Okay, so if I sequence in at Zangi, yeah, let's just do that. Make sure it ain't too close to my final approach fix though. Okay. You know what, guys? I think I'm just going to take the visual. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take the visual, right? So I just need to get close enough to get the weather so I know which runway to have ATC vector me to, if it was real life. Of course, ATC would tell me which runway to expect, even now. All right. So looking back at my map, the distance, I'm looking right now, I'm trying to figure out what my vertical navigation is going to be when I want to start a descent. And so if I look from Fairfield, I tell you what, I can actually have it compute. All right, so I can have it figure out a top of descent. I forgot I could do that. All right, so let me go back to the map. And Fairfield just looked like it's right on top of my airport. But let's plan to be, let's see what the distance is from here to here. I guess I can't tell because this distance is from my aircraft. But I think where I want to be is, let me look at the ForeFlight app. And all right, so I'm going to fly through this little bit of Class Charlie airspace. I'm sorry, Bravo airspace. So I need to be either above 12,000 or below 10,000 when I reach Fairfield to avoid the Bravo. So at Fairfield, I want to be at, say, 9,000. Okay. So if I go back here, and tell the computer that I want to be at 9,000 feet at Fairfield, then I think it will compute my top of descent for me. And what I want to listen out for at this point is when it says vertical track. So I want to be at 1770 at Wenham 50 and fly this profile. Okay. So that's the plan. And then at table, I don't understand this 112. Okay, it's 112 nautical miles from table to Fairfield. Oh, no. It's 112 nautical miles. All this is indented from what's not indented. It's 112 nautical miles from Vegas. That says, yeah, I think from Vegas to Fairfield. So the 112 nautical miles, I think, is between the two VORs. Let's check that on forward flight. All right. So there's Fairfield, and it's Vegas. There's Vegas here. So if I touch these two together, and actually I'm getting closer to 300 nautical miles, 298 nautical miles. So from table to Fairfield, I'm calling it table. It's 122. Yeah, so that must be from table. All right. So from table to Fairfield is 112 nautical miles. Then from Fairfield to Heber Value would be that 26 nautical miles. So waypoint information. Elevation at Heber is 56. And so if I'm at 9 over Fairfield, then I've got roughly 44 nautical, 4,400 feet to lose in 26 nautical miles. And so, with that said, I am going to make this guy 7,000. Because I don't want to be, at 26, I can lose 4,400 feet, but let's just do, see, east is odd. Let's do 7,000 and recompute. Okay, so Wenham, I'm at 18. And how far am I from Wenham? I'm 43 nautical miles from Wenham, so that's when I'm going to start my descent. Well, I want to be at 18 at Wenham. So I should have a vertical profile then now. And we are gonna figure this out, guys. I'm, I guess you can call me an old bush pilot. Now I like to fly in the Pilatus PC-12, so, and I probably fly that just as much as or more than I fly bush aircraft. But uh, I've always treated flight simming as a hobby and a pastime and something that I can sit down and relax at rather than sit down and learn on my own how to fly IFR. Um, the problem is a lot of you guys have figured it out, and I'm tired of being left in the dust. So I actually started looking a little bit closer at using my Garmin 1000 and actually learning um, a little bit more about the IFR procedures. And that was not a wind shear. I um, hit my rudder pedals. Okay. So I'm at 21,000 feet now, and I want to be at 18 over Wenham, and I'm 34 nautical miles from Wenham, 220 knots over the ground, and what indicated 158 indicated somewhere there about. So I would have thought that by now I should be starting a descent now. And it, I don't see anything that would help me determine how to engage the vertical nav. There's nothing in this guy. So I'm gonna go ahead and start a descent now. Actually, let's wind this down to 18. Let's drop this guy to 1,000. And let's engage it. And for right now, we'll just take the speed. Okay. So I got 27 nautical miles to go at roughly 160 nautical miles an hour. So how would I calculate the correct descent rate to be at 18 over Wenham? And I can actually flip this now. See it changing. Okay. Just in case we lose our GPS, we got our backup. And a lot of times ATC will help you with that. You know, they'll you're descending too slow, they'll tell you to expedite. Of course, it's up to you to figure out what rate, but as we come along, we'll figure it out. That we will. So it's time for an external view. Like some agricultural areas down there. I remember the first time I flew over the Midwest in real life, flying commercially. I couldn't believe how those areas look. I mean, you know, it's just amazing that these areas, these circles, actually exist in real life, and they look so perfect from the air. And how this field would be green, and it's just amazing. Kudos to our farmers, right? So I'm already at 18. So perhaps if I'd have been patient, then the sim may have directed me down. I don't know. I mean the vertical track. I do know that I have flown with the GTN 750 and have set up descent profiles, and are actually, I've heard them say vertical track, and I didn't really know what it meant, so I just always kind of ignored it. So live and learn, my friends. So we're 9 nautical miles from our destination. We're already at the altitude of 18. I guess we can make this, let's make it 17. Why? Because we can. And let's see if it directs us down that last 1,000 feet. So I do see it showing up. Blue is true. White sheds light, blue is true. So, and let's see what it does. All right, so I am going to minimize it. And I am going to go ahead and dial the 1700 here, but I'm not going to activate it. And so when it says vertical track, then I activate it. If it says vertical track. Or we'll see if we blow through Wenham at 18. At 2.4 nautical miles, so I don't think we're going to get it. All right, got a message here. Left. Okay, so we're going to blow right through it at 18. Go ahead. manually. So looks like my descent profile is strictly on me. All right. So I want to be at 7,000 at Fairfield, VOR. So that's 10,000. That's a 10,000 foot descent. Okay, leveling off at 17. That's what I should be doing now. All right. And bring my torque back up. See if I can't. My ITT should be at or below 760. So what this is telling me is that these settings I don't think are right in this aircraft anymore. I think they were right at, I really believe they were right at one point. And the aircraft at one point had a lot more power. Okay. Like our sun is trying to set, and I do believe I'm in real time. ForeFlight has advised me, knows that I'm out of Class A airspace and back in the either G or E airspace, and it's advising me to set my altimeter to the closest place, closest airport where I can get a good reading. So that's 3006. There. And this one is so frustrating that I'm almost willing to not even set it. 30201716. All right, so got 17,000 there and 17. Oh, excuse me, guys. 17,000 here, so that's cross check. And let's take a look at the map. Now I know I got 100 and, let's see, actually I got 31 nautical miles to Table. Okay, and then from Table to Farview is why I got 112. Yep. Okay, so do my terrain test so it'll come on. And terrain inhibited is off. Okay. Just a little extra warning there in case I'm find myself getting too close to terrain. All right, so let's see if we can't tune our radio to the frequency, to the ATIS frequency for Heber. Heber. So let's do it this way. Okay, AWAS is 124.82. And we'll flip that in. And just in case we don't get an AWAS here, we can get ADAS from Salt Lake City. And ADAS for Salt Lake City is 124.75. So let's get 75 here. And 124. And we should be good. Okay. Let's go ahead and tune in. As expected, I didn't expect to get anything. And I'm sorry, guys. I had the 4-flat map up, so you didn't see me change the radio to the frequencies that I was looking for. But I got in COM 2. This is Salt Lake City, and this is Heber AWAS. And sometimes, occasionally, an AWAS won't be available in X-Planes, so that's why I'm using Salt Lake City as a backup. Okay. And I've got COM 2 tuned in, so as soon as I get close enough, it'll come in 5x5. All right. See what we are doing here. I tell you, the PC-12 is a beautiful aircraft. I just love the lines on it. I like the way it looks. All right. So I'm at 17, and at table, which we're approaching, that's where we want to be. So I probably should buy me a jet for these long haul FSE flights. I don't normally make them. I usually try to keep my FSE flights short. but we'll see. So we'll go ahead and set this. Actually, set it the wrong way. Set the altimeter so that I'm touching that 7,000 on the nose. Okay, so 2.5 nautical miles from table at 17. And since we got 100 miles to lose 10,000 feet, then we can lose it at 500 feet a minute. As soon as we cross table. All right, so I just lost AP trims. Just lost my autopilot trims. That sucks. Oh, I lost my autopilot. Oh, that means I'm gonna have to take it in by hand. That really sucks. Okay, 19. And let's bring it back over a little. So I'm watching this gauge here, and this 04. And as soon as I can get it on my desired track of 190, then I want to hit my heading bug and fly that heading. And that's close enough to hand for me for right now. All right, so I want to descend at 500 feet a minute. That's what I was trying to set up. And we'll start that vertical profile. I am not going to wait for the aircraft to, my trims are not working. So therefore, well, let's see. Therefore, the autopilot's not engaging. So I'm gonna have to descend. So I'm not even flying ahead, am I? Alrighty then. Because I can't engage my autopilot. That sucks. Okay, so let's trim it down manually. And as you can see, I'm making a mad dash to the ground. All right. Now, let's see, I do have what am I trying to say? The VORs that I can fly to, but I'm still in the same boat. I can't engage the autopilot. So even if I fly to the VORs, I'll have to fly manually. So I might as well continue tracking the magenta line on the autopilot here. And the flight director is confusing me, so I'm gonna turn it off. And try to get back on the magenta line and then back on the vertical track. So I'm going through a cloud, which means that I should turn on some windshield heat. Because at this flight level, outside air temperature is cold. See, my outside air temperature is in here somewhere, 10 degrees Celsius, right? So that's above freezing. Actually, so I can turn those off. I don't see, it's not like -10. I'm out west and they got this big old heat wave. So even at 16,000 feet, it's way above freezing. And I am back somewhat on track. I need us trying to line up. And I'm flying straight and level. So now I got a 300-foot descent, which should be fine to compensate for that big 3,000-foot descent that I had when the aircraft was trying to get away from me. Let's see if I can turn on some lights here. And might be able to turn some floodlights on. Turn those up. See, guess that's what I can do. And I was watching a video not too long ago, and the guy kept saying heading in altitude, heading in altitude. And he was flying in IMC conditions. Okay, so let's get this little white triangle right here lined up in the middle of this guy right there. Why is that so hard? Takes practice. And oh, okay, let's pull that nose up. Takes practice, and I don't practice doing this, so. But I do know that I want to be at 7,000 feet at my next waypoint. But I'm not going to get there with 1,000 feet ascent. Get that nose down. That nose will crop up on me. So. And trying not to porpoise in the air too much. And I really need my autopilot because I need to check. All right, let's see if we can't get ATIS. COM2. I already got COM2 dialed in. Let's see if we can't get it on Salt Lake. Still too far out. 1,500 feet per minute descent. It's too steep. 500 is kind of what we want. But it can be hard holding it there. Okay. Instrument lighting. Normal. Cockpit lighting. Floods. It looks like I need to turn to my left a little bit. Get back on that line. And I literally have a long way to go before I get to Farfield. Okay, I finally got what I feel like is a good trim in. You'll need to turn back to the left just a touch. I see a lake. I see a lake right here, and I think I want to scoot up just beside it. And I am basing that on what I'm seeing on ForeFlight, because here I see the Utah Lake, which I think this is it, and far field look like it's gonna be right up in here. So let's point our nose that way. Unless there's something out this way that I miss. Okay. The pressure is on. And right now I'm kind of going to level off right here at, well, let's level off at 13. So let's lower that nose and try to get that 300 to 500 foot per minute descent down to 13. And I've gotten too low to see my lake over the ridge. But I do recall that it was in this area here. And since my autopilot is not on, look for traffic. So it's kind of sparse out here, so I think we're okay. Now these mountains top out at about 9,000. So that's why I want to get down to about 13 and hold. Be nice to be close enough to get an ATIS, so I know what my altimeter would be. So 200 knots indicated, 251 over the ground. And I would say that we are getting there. We got 36 nautical miles to the VOR. And so the VOR is at 7,700 feet, and so to be at so if this is 7,700 feet, to be at 7,000 would put me into terrain. So I don't want to be at 7,000. I'm going to change that back to 9. Space. That would put me that would keep me at 2,000 feet over the terrain. To be honest with you, in mountains, you probably want to be much higher than that. All right. So, where's my cockpit? There it is. And looks like I'm approaching the Great Salt Lake. And yes, I am climbing a little bit. I can start that ForeFlight app, and it's on a tablet. And if I don't pull it down manually, it stays up. So I hate when I hide from you guys what I'm doing. Okay. So I'm basically flying VFR. So I tell you what I'm gonna do. Since my autopilot is not working, I am gonna cancel my IFR, and I'm low enough now to fly VFR. In reality, this flight I would not have been able to do what I did because I never even turned on my oxygen, and I was at 3,000 feet, 20,000 feet with no oxygen. So
Salt Lake City INTL information Victor.
okay, so
200 Zulu weather. Wind 360 at 8, visibility more than 10.
So
Sky conditions 8,000 few, 15,000 scattered, 20,000 broken, temperature 27, dew point 7. Altimeter 2995. Arriving runways 34 right, 34 left, 35, 32. Departing runways 34 right, 34 left, 35, 32. Advise on initial contact you have Victor.
It's hard finding these click spots.
Salt Lake City INTL information.
All right, so let's try the
200
AWAS.
Zulu weather. Wind 360 at 8, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 8,000 few, 15,000 scattered, 20,000 broken, temperature 27, dew point 7. Altimeter 2995. Arriving runways 34 right, 34 left, 35, 32. Departing runways 34 right, 34 left, 35, 32. Advise on initial contact you have Victor.
You know, without the tactile feedback, it's so easy to.
Heber Muni Russ
Come
McDonald
on.
FLD weather. Wind 340 at 10, visibility more than 10.
10.
Sky conditions
340.
34,000 broken, temperature 22, dew point 5. Altimeter 3003.
Okay, that's the altimeter I need for. That's my location that I'm landing. What was the winds?
Heber Muni Russ McDonald FLD weather. Wind 340 at 10, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 34,000 broken,
Okay,
temperature 22,
so now I
dew
can
point 5.
determine what runway I
Altimeter
want.
3003.
14.5 is my. Let's settle here. Three 003. And we're way off the magenta line. Of course, we can't see it, so let's make a pretty sharp turn back to it. All right, let's cancel VFR. No, I didn't. Let's squat VFR. And that means that we got to stay clear of clouds. So let's see, get down between this layer here. Okay. Let's get our map back up. And turn back on course. Stop doing these kamikaze dives. And get below these clouds here. Okay. And let's head towards our airport. All right. 26 miles to our airport, so we can really bleed off this altitude at this point, because I still have a mountain range to negotiate. Ah, snap. Still got a mountain range to negotiate, guys. Getting rid of my. Let's get over these clouds. Don't have a choice. and I want out of the clouds. All right, I'll turn my recognition lights on. And I'm staying clear to Bravo. Okay, there's a pass that I can get, that I might be able to get through. Problem is seeing it. So let's get out of the clouds again. Okay, I think it's this highway. I think this highway gets, let's see. Is it this highway that's going to take me through the pass? No, it's not. Sorry, guys. Okay, I think it's this pass here. Yep, that's it. That's what I want. That's what I want. And I think I see my airport lights. All right. So if that's the case, then I need to know which runway winds with 360, 340 at 10. So 104. And so that's pretty much straight in from my location. Stay in that pass to avoid terrain. And 11 nautical miles from the airport. Is that what I'm seeing? Back. 10, yep. That's what I'm seeing. So let's get in. Let's start thinking about landing configurations. We know the airport was at, I think it was at 5,600 feet. Yep. And we're at 8,000 feet. So that gets, we want to level out about here and make our radio call. $122.8. Heber Valley traffic, Pilatus 97.5 Foxtrot is 8 miles inbound from the west, straight in runway 04, Heber Valley. You guys get the idea. All right. So Heber Valley traffic, Pilatus 97.5 Foxtrot is on final runway 04 for Heber Valley. I don't know if that made any sense. Gear down. runway is at 5,600 feet. And I'm at 60. Trim it up. Gear it down. Watch our speed. Heber Valley traffic, short final Pilatus 9875 Foxtrot, Heber Valley, runway 04. Okay, landing lights. Pilatus can look like a big jet coming in when it's landing. 500. No PAPI lights. It's all visual. Flaps 30. All right. So, prop strike. Too hot, too hot. Nah, I should have went around. I thought about going around, but I was like, I can do this. But you know what? My passengers may have some back problems for the rest of their lives, but they're here. So, with that said, I am going to get paid. Oh man, that was crazy. Let's see. So, how do you get paid? All right. So, open up this guy and finish the flight. And one thing FS Economy doesn't care about is what condition the passengers get there. And anyway, the landing was embarrassing. So let's embarrass ourselves some more and see if we can't take a look at it. If my replay will work. Replay is not working. Control R. And I keep remapping it. My Alt R button was remapped by my video card. So, replay. So I keep remapping the button, Shift R. Huh. Thought I did Control R. Rotate view. Yeah, let's do Control R. All right, Control R. That's what I remember. Okay, so let's get in here and just see this crash landing. And it's going here pretty quickly. All right. So, without the PAPI, I knew I was high. Now, let's see. I got 1,000 feet. Well, at 6,600, 1,000 feet to go. I see the runway, and I'm at what, 130, and I want it. So at some point, I pull my power all the way out, maybe a little bit too late, and I still got 10 degrees of flaps. I should have added 30 degrees of flaps a little earlier, but it's about here when I realized I was way too fast, and you see I pulled that power out here, and I'm basically coasting. You'll see me drop the rest of these flaps. Way too late on those flaps. Dirty flaps. But I'm still too hot. I tried to flare it up, and then I started purposing. There was my prop strike. Like I may have had a wing strike too. But it's a sim, and I can take some liberties. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed having you guys along, and until next time, y'all come back now. You hear? Like and subscribe.